Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics Baseball Edition season preview with head baseball coach Eric Burkle. Coach, thanks for joining us.
No problem. It's good to get it started. Nice day out today, so it's...
Yeah, I saw you guys out on the soccer field. Talk about that. I stopped and talked to Coach Ryan, and he said it was the first time ever.
The indoor facility is great, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to be able to see the baseball fly.
Right.
So we got with track, we got with soccer, and said, hey, we practiced 1 to 6 today. Can we use the turf? Because we bring them in segments, and they all said yeah. So it's nice to be out there. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to go back for pregame IO walkthrough and all that stuff, and then we're going to get them on a bus and get out of here.
Yeah. Was that your first time out this winter?
We snuck out onto the football field a couple times, and it's a little strange. Like you're dodging rain or you're dodging ice pellets. Today it's nice. I mean, it's nicer today than what we play in half the time. So it's fun to get them outside. It really is.
Baseball's an outdoor sport, right? It's not meant to be indoor.
We're gonna leave the turtle down real close to that soccer field, so that next week when we get back, we got a place to hit outside. So we'll just get with Coach Regan and Coach Simpson and see what we can pull off.
Yeah. So get right into it. Heading down to Union this weekend. How are you feeling?
Not too bad. It's a different feeling than last year. Last year I thought we were good, and then everything we did was wrong. So this year I've been a little it's been cautious, but then when I look at last year's lineup compared to this year's lineup, I'm thinking, okay, this has changed. We should be okay. I mean, we're returning 3 all-conference guys. We're returning 3 starting pitchers out of 4. We brought a kid in from Texas to be that 4th guy right now. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it plays out. Union's a great school. They're in Tennessee. They've been outside. They've already played a 3-game series. So we'll have our hands full with our non-conference schedules. It's pretty good. We're going to come back and go to Malone. We're going to bring UPJ here. We're going to go to Shepherd before we even start conference play. So by the time we get to conference play, we should be very well seasoned.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about those 3 all-conference players return and what it means to the team and the lineup?
And they're all 3. One of them is different than the other 2. Penny Becker's, he's a 5th-year guy for us. Yeah. He's in his COVID year, and he's earned everything he's got. He's learned his way along the way, and each year he's gotten better. So hopefully this is pretty much a breakout year for him. Then the other 2 last year were freshmen. Mm-hmm. We knew that Ryan Talbert was going to be part of that lineup every day. But Jake Sherman, he's a kid that first 15 games of the year, he was a role player, and then when he got an opportunity, he took it and he ran with it. Ended up hitting over 400, second-team all-conference. So, just those 3 alone and bringing in a couple transfers, you start to think, okay, if this clicks, it might work.
And then the pitching staff, you said you have 4 pretty confident guys to throw out there to start. And
yeah, I mean, this is the smallest pitching staff I've had in a while. We went from 27 guys last year down to 18, and typically you'll use 12 or 13 on a weekend. Right. So our first 3 all have starting experience, and then our 4th guy was a starter at a JUCO. So we have 4 starters. We have middle guys that we think, and then we have a couple dual guys that we can bring in to close games. Mm-hmm. That seems to be the thing to do. Concord, last couple years, shortstop, he's going from the mound back to shortstop or shortstop to the mound to finish a game. And so we're going to try that this year. We have a hell of an athlete in Trevor Thomas who can do that. He did it at Pot State, so we're going to try that again with him.
You talked about just the strength and lineup. So what do you see that makes it so strong this year compared to last year?
We're adding 2 junior college guys, so we're not adding freshmen. Yeah. We're adding 2-3 years of experience. Yep. Trevor Thomas is coming in as a middle infielder from Potomac State, and a pitcher. Garrett Scott's coming in as a 3-year guy at a junior college where he played the last 2 full time. So you're not adding that inexperience, you're adding that experience, and they both stepped into leadership roles right away. And guys are starting to follow them. And they're both obviously going to start on Friday. both expected to play all 50, 56 games.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep those guys healthy, and you add in your all-conference guys that you return, plus the Ty Homke, who had a bad year last year, but he came off a sophomore year that was just incredible. If things roll your way and you avoid the injury bug and the cancer, then this team can be all right.
Yeah, so you talked about the transfers already making an impact in leadership roles. What's the locker room feel like this year for the team?
It goes in and out. Cabin fever set in.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, cabin fever had already set in. When you're locked indoors, you get some guys at each other's throat. You get coaches at players' throats. Mm-hmm. Getting outside today helps some of that. Getting on a bus tomorrow, them playing their little bus games that they do, getting them in a hotel tomorrow night, all that kind of cures all that stuff. But as a team, they're pretty tight. Mm-hmm. They stick together. They do things off the field together. They use this new locker room that we have. They use it a good bit together. So if they can keep that going through, a 12, 14-week season, we'll see how far they can take it.
Yeah, so are these 7 or 9s down in Union? I know the conferences are 7s, okay?
So if you play a doubleheader, same team,
right,
on the same day, it can't be 2 9s.
All right.
We can go 9-7.
All right.
So Union's coming in with a new coach, and he sent the email, and he said, you good with 9-7, and that's fine. At this time of year, we need as many innings as we can get. Yeah. Win or lose, we need to work. So we're going to go play 16 innings a day, if not more, and get the experience this weekend. We'll come back, take a week off, and get ready for Malone. And then from there, we roll all the way into May.
Yeah, what's it like? Baseball is a sport where you're playing, 3-4 times a week with doubleheaders and all that. So
it is. I think that we have one of the better conference schedules in the country. We play a 32-game conference schedule.
Yeah.
All right, so I only have to find 18 non-conference games. So I've got some time in February. I've got a spring break week. I've got midweeks. For us, it's easy,
mm-hmm.
With some teams close to us, PSAC teams, Malone. And Union's been great to host us the last couple of years. It's easy to fill that schedule, but, man, once you get going,
it rolls.
It's nonstop. You don't see wives, you don't see children until May. You're waiting for that vacation come the end of May.
For sure. And especially with, being a northern school, having to travel south or away from home to get some games in early in the season. I think it's 14 or 15 straight games away from home to start the season.
First 19 are on
19?
the road. Yeah,
19.
First 19 on the road. And then we'll come home for a conference series with Wesleyan D&E.
Yeah, you start conference play already on the road, and then your first home game's a conference game.
We have Wesleyan D&E at home, I think, March 25th.
Yeah, so, what's that like for the team? I know you have travel rosters and all that stuff, so what's the
It's a little different here because the travel rosters, obviously, that's
right.
painful for any coach and players to go through, especially on a day before you're leaving. Guys are just
right.
finding out they're not traveling today. But to play at home here, it's a dual-edged sword. Atmosphere's great.
Right.
Big crowds, everything's rolling your way. It's a tough place to play, but you don't get to play here often. It's just it's at that point where any little bit of rain shuts you down. Mm-hmm. So this is my travel year anyway. We have that every other year with the MEC schedule. You're on the road a little bit more than you are at home. So this is our heavy travel year. This is our budget beater. This is the one that I just told Coach on. This is the one that beats our budget up a little bit. But we should be good. And then next year we get to play at home a little more. So playing at home, it's fun, yes, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yep.
And our guys know it. I'm at the age where they do a lot of that maintenance now.
There you go. Been here for a handful of seasons, so
I've been here.
It's been flown by, yeah.
Yeah.
So started as an assistant, right, and then moved into the head coach role.
I was with Coach McConaughey for 4 years, and then stepped into this role, and it's been fun. Mm-hmm. It's been grueling at times. It's been a fight. We've changed a lot of things, from stuff at the field to a clubhouse, a locker room, to moving from, a nice office in the ASRC to having the annex, which to me is great. I'm right next to the field. I share it with 2 soccer coaches and my assistants. it's great being over here. So we've made some positive changes. And then when you talk about that indoor facility, you know, last year we put Concord and Glenville in there to take BP. And they're like, wow, this is nice.
Yeah.
And then today we're going on to a turf soccer field to take BP. So we're okay facility-wise now. Let's just see if we can get some wins.
Yeah, so early in the season, what are the ultimate goals heading in before everything gets started?
Yeah. Again, cautiously right. Optimistic, man. But if we can get through the first part of this season at 500 or somewhere close to it,
right,
realistically, then you got a little bit of confidence rolling into the southern part of the MEC. And Cal Bailey always preached to all of us that if you can get through that, for us, it's the southern portion of the MEC. For the guys in the south, it'd be the north. If you can get through that at 500, and then when you're playing teams 4 times apiece,
yeah,
you control your own destiny.
Yeah.
So for us, this year we missed a tournament for the second time in the 11 years I've been the head coach. So that's the main goal, is to make sure we're back at the tournament. And then from there, we'll see where it goes. It's, you know, keeping guys healthy,
right,
trying to sneak out some wins. Last year we didn't know how to win. So this year I think that's been the goal. We've made it harder in practice than it is in the game, and some guys have fed off of that.
Yeah, you think the rough season last year will kind of ultimately be a blessing kind of in disguise for you?
I would say that they're tired of me. Yeah. I reminded them last Sunday that they were 12-38 last year. And it was.
It is what it is, right?
It is. And when you see guys that you know, were happy with 12-38, or guys that they're unsure about what they need to do, you remind them that 12-38 is not fun.
Right.
So hopefully they get it.
Yeah. Last thing for you, what just makes this team 2023 edition of the Hilltoppers special?
You got some fifth-year guys. You know, you got your Ty Honke, you've got Pennybacker, Ian Brady. They put the work in, and it's fun to see that hopefully something can pay off for him. Pennybacker's one that, as a freshman, you know, he wanted the baseball and we couldn't give it to him. Well, then as a sophomore, I threw him out of practice. So now he's that guy. He's become that leader where he does the program to a T, and then young guys just have to follow him.
Yeah.
Because he's throwing the first game probably every weekend for us unless we get a weather change or something. So he's that guy that guys can follow. So to see them have a little bit of success as seniors will be fun.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us. Hitting the road early tomorrow.
Yeah, we're at breakfast in the caf at 7. Bus is leaving at 8, and now I'm getting in my golf cart and I'm heading back to soccer.
Back to practice. Yep. All right, for Coach Burkle, I'm Jacob Davey. This is Inside Hilltopper Athletics Baseball Edition. Best of luck to the Hilltoppers and Coach Burkle down in Tennessee this weekend. Follow all the live coverage on hilltoppersports.com.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Danny Irwin. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.